Until noon, this is Neil Mitchell.
Well, Lawson is fat. Now, you're not allowed to say that about people. I suppose you can say it about dogs. Lawson is fat, though he's not as fat as he was. Obesity in humans is a problem. We talked about it often enough. It does upset me a bit when I see, because I'm a dog lover, I had dogs all my life. If you see a fat dog in the street, you think, now, come on, I don't blame the dog, I blame the person on the end of the lead. If you've got a fat dog, it's your fault. But do people not know how to care for the dogs? Is it that people are just too soft? Oh, he'd like a little piece of chocolate. Don't give him chocolate, whatever you do. According to the Lort Smith Animal Hospital, 40% of pets in Australia are overweight. So not just dogs, cats as well. Cats being often more sedentary than dogs. I suppose that might be the reason. 14 popular breeds at Lort Smith, 63% were overweight in 2012. That includes Lawson, who is a Jack Russell cross and is in the studio with us today. Also with us is the General Manager and Vet at Lort Smith, Dr. Russell Harrison. Good morning.
Morning, Neil.
Lawson weighs what?
He weighs 13 kilos currently. He actually weighed 16 kilos when he was surrendered to us about a month ago.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Oh, okay. So he's not so he weighed 16. What should he be?
We're aiming for a goal weight of 8 kilos. So he's got another 5.1 kilos to go.
He's got a back you could throw a saddle on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a back you could put a coffee cup on.
Put a whole tray on.
Yeah.
Okay, how did he get to 16 kilos?
He's very food motivated, and that will take quite a bit of discipline from his owner to limit the amount of food and to keep the exercise up.
Do overweight people have overweight animals?
There's been started to show that is the case, but also people that aren't overweight can have overweight dogs.
Well, that's true. Why?
What you said in the intro is pretty much true. Of overweight animals, about 5% might have a medical reason, but 95% is due to overfeeding and lack of exercise.
Okay. But why do people overfeed dogs? I mean, or any animal for that matter. I mean, it's harder to do yourself, to restrict your own food intake, but because, that's a self-satisfaction thing. But with an animal, you feed them what they should have, and surely that's the end of it.
I think it's because they love them. And to give an animal food, which is something that they enjoy, gives the owner a sense of connection with them. So sometimes you've just got to have that discipline for the dog, but still have that bond from contact and walking. And
well, Lawson has done well to get to 13 and 16 kilos. Presumably he's been heavy for a while.
Yeah.
What are the health implications for a dog?
So dogs that are overweight, one of the main problems they can get is arthritis because of the extra weight they carry on their joints. But they also can get heart disease, diabetes, and respiratory problems.
Is it correct that if you care for a dog properly, feed it properly and exercise it, you just don't get heart disease in dogs?
No, that's not true, because some dogs can develop heart disease as a congenital or genetic thing as well.
What are the other animals? Do you have problems with fat cats, fat birds? Surely birds don't get fat.
Birds can become overweight. The problem with birds, particularly it's parakeets that are given seeds, and they just pick out all the really high fat content seeds, like sunflower seeds. So for some parakeets, it's better to give them a meal where it's all blended up as a pellet rather than the seeds that they can cherry pick.
It strikes me. How do you weigh a bird?
You probably don't need to weigh it, but just the look and the feel of it.
Because you never get to stand on the scales.
No, you can feel over its chest and you can feel its keel bone and to tell whether it's overweight or not.
Well, it's pretty obvious. Hello, Lawson. It's pretty obvious with Lawson that he's not exactly... Look, he's a hand-spanned across. And you say a coffee cup. Lawson, you're as fat as a pig. Do pigs get fat?
They do.
we
don't treat pigs at Lort Smith, so we don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so what do you do? What do you do with a dog like this? You say, well, mate, you're too fat. You got to lose weight. What do you do?
So I suppose the first thing for listeners is to identify whether your animal, your dog or cat, is overweight. Of course, you can do that over scales, and you can take your dog to any vet clinic. They'll all have scales in the front reception area, and the staff there will be able to look up the ideal weight for your pet and put you on the road to a weight loss. But also at home, something you can do is to feel the ribs, and you should be able to feel the ribs. Neil, you probably noticed you couldn't feel his ribs because of the fat.
Ribs, no.
And they should also have a waistline. He doesn't quite have a waistline. From the ribs, it's pretty much a flat flat line to the back end.
He's a little barrel on legs now, but I can't imagine what he was like when he was heavier. How are you getting the weight off him specifically?
So he's on a calorie-controlled diet. So he's actually on what we call a prescription diet that's got limited calories, but it's also gives him a sense of satisfaction and fullness when he eats it, and also exercise.
Remember Harry Cooper years ago telling me if I was worried about the dog's weight to feed it a lot of grated carrot in its meal because it'd fill the dog up and not put on weight. Is that the sort of thing you look at?
Yeah, you can do that. So grated vegetables in the diet can make them feel full and have less calories than the high fat and protein diets that they otherwise have.
I wonder if you mind putting on the headphones. Got a couple of questions for you. Dr. Russell Harrison from Lord Smith Hospital. Now, is it true you just don't give dogs chocolate?
Yeah, you can't
not for weight, but for other reasons as well?
No, there's an active part of chocolate that can actually be poisonous to dogs, and it can cause them to become have seizures. So it's the dark chocolates that's the most dangerous one compared to the other ones.
So
but
I'll guarantee there's people listening now who feed their dogs chocolate. I know you can buy chocolate treats, which are all right. Those are made for dogs, but
don't give dogs chocolate. Get the stuff from the pet shop.